Hello, I'm Doug Bell, and this is the Hot Rod Show. We have a snake pit for you to come and have a look at tonight. Why is it a snake pit? Because it's full of Cobras. Come on down, check this one out. Woohoo! Hey, all you fellas down there in Waimana, Tuggy Bell here. Tonight on the show, we have a 53 Caddy. We have a Westies breakfast where we talk to a few folk out there. Then we go and see the girls at Club BB in Elliott Street in the city. We have a look at Ken's shed for a change. We then see what Online Logistics do and what sort of vehicles they bring in. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here are Braden and I. We're sort of stuck in a bunch of snakes, you know, like. Hey, Braden.
Yeah.
All these Cobras. What do you think? Hey, what do you think? I mean, look at this. It's like going into a candy store and saying, "Can I have one of each colour?" And we pretty much got that. Man, they're just beautiful. AC Cobras. Braden.
Right, Doug. Well, first of all, we're going to jump into it with Ralph from the Cobra Car Club. Talk to us a little bit about the club. Hey, Ralph.
Hi, how are you doing?
Hi, Ralph.
Hi,
how you
how you doing? Yeah, good.
Thank you for coming out.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about the Cobra Club and how it all came about? And
Yeah, the Cobra Club was founded roughly 13 years ago or something like that, just to bring together a bunch of people with the same interest in the Cobra cars, and that's it. Just I think we started with 20 people or something like that, and now we are.
That's a good number to start with.
Yeah, that's all right. And now we are 35, 40 people, and it's good fun.
Whereabouts are most of your members based? In Auckland?
I would say 60-70% are in Auckland, and we have a couple of members in the South Island, and up north there are a couple of members as well. Yeah.
So how often do you meet up and go for a run or whatever?
In summer, pretty every 2 to 4 weeks. And
okay. Quite regularly.
Normally we go on a run, and then we end up at some barbecue or something, some social event at the end, and it's good fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. No.
Wow, check out these girls at Club BB in Elliott Street. I wish I was 19 again instead of old. But here all these girls in their beautiful bikinis climbing into these Cobras and a couple of Mustangs and into this beautiful white limousine Cadillac that we have here. Yeah, just isn't this interesting? Well, you know, this helps pass the time in Auckland. You watch girls hopping in and hopping out of cars. Braden loves that. Well, here we are, and we have a beautiful 53 Cadillac Coupe Deville on the show today. Look at this. I mean, just look at the front. There's enough chrome on there to set a business up and make a profit. I mean, you probably can notice that I have a love affair with Cadillacs. Never owned one, just ever so much love them. But look at this, and here we are. Down here we have Graham, and Graham's the owner of this Cadillac. Hey, Graham.
Hi,
how you doing?
I'm good, mate, and you?
Yeah, I'm pretty happy that you could make it out here today with this car. I asked your wife before, do you sleep in this more? Do you sleep with her inside?
And what did she say?
She said you sleep more in here.
She's right.
Wow, man, look, this is so beautiful. Like, look at the lines on this thing, Graham. It's, we're going to talk to more about the car as we go along. But Braden's sitting in there. Hello, Braden. How are you?
Hey, Doug. How are you?
Yeah.
Good. I'm just in there enjoying the pristine interior of this Cadillac, Doug. And if Graham could come over and tell us a little bit about the inside of his Deville, if he'd like. Would you like, Graham?
Oh, I'd love to.
Well, that's awesome. Come sit
Climb
by me.
on in there.
Thank you.
That's just beautiful.
All right, now wave to Doug. Bye, Doug.
Oh, we're going to get in here too. There's room for three.
Room for three.
Look out, Graham.
Hi.
So was the interior like this when you...
The interior was like this when we bought it.
Wow.
3 Cokes, 3 burgers, and 2 large fries.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. The
Wow.
car came from Australia, was imported by the person we bought it off. And
I'm
he's
scared
had
to touch it.
He's had it completely restored in New Zealand, as it is now, as you can see it now.
Wow. How long have you owned it for, Graham?
We've had it for about 2 years.
Oh, yeah? So she's pretty fresh.
It is.
And this is a 1953. We've got electric windows.
Yeah,
we've got an automatic headlight dimmer,
Aircon.
air conditioning,
Yeah.
radio,
And the electric window is actually hydraulic.
and we've got an old guy in the middle.
Yeah, that's right. yeah. And 2 ugly ones on next.
What are you going to have with rose between the thorns?
That's true, yeah.
Wow, I'm just going to hop out because
We'll get out and have a look around
this thing is just
before Doug
absolutely.
gets touchy-feely.
So you can order 3 burgers from the front seat.
You have to slam it.
I'll just leave that.
Wow, let's walk down the back. Let's
We better have a look in the
Yeah.
boots, since Doug's got a fetish with boots.
and I'm not in there.
Yeah.
Look at the lines on this. What? These are just vents or something, Graham. They vents for the boot in case
they're-
Braden's in the boot.
They're vents for the air conditioning.
All right, okay. That's the vent for the air conditioning, ladies and gentlemen. Isn't that a novel place to put them?
It was an afterthought, I think.
Here you go, Doug. Look.
Wow. I don't want to hop in that one. That's too good.
Wow.
Well, maybe we could put a couple of the guests in there. But look at that. Have
do
any
it.
of you seen inside here? It's just beautiful.
I
mean,
didn't realise that in 1953 they brought out 6 CD stackers.
Like, look at this thing. This is just it's just like the inside with all the tuck and roll.
So what's this, a handbook on how to
Yeah.
Yeah,
bring Doug back to life when you run him over?
It's a Swiss.
Don't use it.
No.
Man, look at this thing. Look at, like, the people at home won't be able to appreciate, like everything that we can see here, but the chrome is just
Oh, wow.
absolutely beautiful. Like, I don't know how many times that's been dipped in the chrome bath, but.
Hey, Doug, come
yeah.
down here and have a look at this.
Oh, that's the gas tank.
Show us your gas tank there, Graham.
Yeah, the gas
Give her
tank filler. Something.
There it is there, look. Look at that.
Yeah. That's almost fancy. Ooh,
That's it. Just push it. Yeah, that's it.
wow. And like you got the vents in the back, up the back there.
That's for the air conditioning.
Wow. We need to have a look under the bonnet here too, Graham, because I know it hasn't got a big hot rodded engine in there, but it does have an absolutely beautiful engine to look at.
Oh, wow.
Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Ain't that something else?
So-
That's not what you see when you lift the lid up on your Honda.
What is it, a Caddy 331?
Yeah.
Are they?
Yeah,
331?
it is.
Hey, woohoo!
Jesus, Tony.
Sentry Battery. How about that? Do you use mother's polish?
Yes.
You do?
Of course.
Wow.
Of course.
That's great. But look, I mean, just look at the front of this thing. I love Cadillacs. Hey, Graham, I see you've got Elvis hanging from your mirror too.
Elvis hangs everywhere.
Elvis hangs everywhere. That's really good. We in the weekend I had a look at a big Elvis collection. That's coming up in a future episode. So you'll be able to have a look at it. But I just hope at home there you can just see and appreciate the beauty that this car is. And I mean, it smells beautiful. It feels beautiful. It sounds beautiful when the door's shut. If you can get a Cadillac, go buy a Cadillac, but because there's not a lot else to get, Graham, thank you so much for bringing your car on the show. That's
You're most
beautiful,
welcome.
man.
You're most welcome.
Here we are at Westy Breakfast, and I'm talking with Vince Sledis. He's been organising this event for the last couple of years, so to see what we really have got going on out here in Henderson, go and have a look at the extended version on our website.
Hello there, Doug, how are you? The Hot Rod Show, ladies and gentlemen. Best show in Auckland.
California is famous for lots of things. Cars and technology are just two of them. Now Mothers brings car care and technology together with California Gold Synthetic Wax. Ultra-fine polishes bring out that Mother's signature gloss and deep, wet shine, while specially formulated polymers form a chemical bond that protects your paint surface. Easy on, easy off, in the shade or in the sun. Mother's Synthetic Wax. Pure California Gold.
Hey, I'm Doug Bell, and this is the Hot Rod Show. Woohoo! Come on down. Check this out. Oh, there's no car here. Well, Gary Hogg, this here's a shed visit just for you. This is a Kiwi Span shed, and this is where we film the Hot Rod Show. So today, our shed visit is going to be showing you our shed, or Ken's shed as it really is, and where we film the Hot Rod Show. So we're going to have a little bit of a look around. We're going to show you our sponsors, and these are the people who have helped us get through this episode. We have CRC. You know, CRC, as I've said earlier, they're the gorillas on the block. They've got a little bit of everything for everybody. They get everything covered. They stick this to that and they undo this from that. So CRC, they're pretty good people. And here we have Mothers. There's no shine like Mothers, and they have such a wide variety of products to do everything to your car that you need to make it sparkly, help it sell, help it win a prize, you know. They're pretty good. Sentry Batteries. Now, you know, if you want to get anything started, you've got to need a Sentry Battery. And, you know, 1 or 2 hits on the old switch and it's firing into life. So get a Sentry Battery. We have Protector Insurance. Now, these guys, they've been extremely good to us. You know, if you're driving your car on the road, you need Protector Insurance. They're just pretty good guys. Swiss Floors. Now, you've been seeing the floor in every episode, you know. Now, Dennis at Swiss Floors, you know, he's a really neat guy, and he'll talk to you about your floor. You know, he'll even give you a deal on the floor because, man, they just do a great job. You know, Aegis Oil. You know, Aegis Oil, this is New Zealand's only put together oil on the market. They make the whole lot, they bring the oil in, but they put all the additives together here. It's really a New Zealand made oil. American Retro Furniture, this is one of their stands. I'll just move it out of the way so you get a good look at their banner there. Now, these are terrific guys, you know. Who else do we have? We have Neon Effects, you know. Look at these neon lights that we've always had on the site, you know. It's just amazing, neon effect. Then we have our shirts, you know, like you've seen us wearing shirts all the time. These shirts, they come from Gravel Clothing down there in Tauranga.
Here's Graham.
Yeah.
Hey, Graham. Thanks, Graham.
How you doing? Thank you very much for coming.
That's good.
Yeah.
So, the history of the Cobras, Graham, can you
Well, they started out of England with the AC Ace, and they started off as a 4-cylinder, then they had a 6 in them, and then Carroll Shelby came on board and took the cars to America and filled them up with a small V8, and they produced...
Was it 289 or something?
Yeah, 289, 302s, 351s, 427s, and of later years, much bigger engines.
We've got 2 427s here today, and we've got a 289 out there.
Yeah. So no, it's a good range, and this one's supercharged. So basically they can be customised quite easily, and it can be from the grills to the wheels to the body shapes to fender guards to roll bars and colours. So you can have stripes or no stripes, but traditionally the English AC was always without stripes, and then Shelby put his double stripes.
Oh, okay,
So they become sort of synonymous with a lot of Cobra stuff on it, the 2 stripes.
And they've come through into the later cars, into the Mustangs.
And this is your personal car, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yep.
Well, it's now we'll get into this a little bit, but this is a little bit different than the other cars we have here on the set, isn't it?
Yeah, most of the others are all made here in New Zealand by car fabricators. And some of the guys have finished them off themselves, and then they'll just buy different components and make them up. I got this one made up in the States, so out of LA from a company, and so it's made under license to Carroll Shelby, and so it's got a lot of Shelby pieces on it, like all the wheels, the rims, tyres, so they're a bit wider than most. And so basically you could customise it, and they sell them as a rolling chassis.
Right.
And then you just put your own
engine.
engine.
You go through a checklist and say, I want this, and this.
Yeah,
you can
exactly. You can do that.
Yeah,
so,
that's a good way to get it.
So it comes out of a factory of 500 people.
Wow.
And,
500 people working, making these.
Making
They're
these.
must be making enough of them to have 500 people working.
Yeah, but they do the Cobra, the Daytona Coupe, which is built on the same chassis, just different body shape with a roof.
Yeah.
You've got GT40s,
Yes.
and so it's quite a big company.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, so
How long have you owned this one for, Graham?
came into the country on the 30th of December, so pretty good.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
New.
Good Chrissy present.
Wow,
And so went through the certification process down in Wellington, and I must say those guys are bloody good.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good. So
Were there any hold-ups or any difficulties in the, in that part of it?
yeah.
What were some of the things that held you up there?
Basically, when I researched it, and obviously spend half your life on the internet, and you try and get all that stuff done as they're fabricating it, but I didn't do a few things.
Okay.
So anyway, we've done that, and there's a few things that I needed to get finished off, and the exhausts were too noisy, so had to cut those and put some more stuffing inside them.
Yeah.
And so they're now compliant, and it was just a whole lot of things, getting the harnesses in.
Okay.
And just getting it timed off. But no, the low volume guys were fantastic.
Yeah,
down
oh,
there,
wonderful.
So.
Well, we'll get under the bonnet, Graham, and have a look and show our viewers what's underneath.
Do you just want to open that one?
That way?
That way, yep. There's a little thing on the side.
Ooh, that's pretty, isn't it?
Down.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's a small block 427, and I got made by a guy up in the States, John Cassie, who does a lot of the drag race engines. So it's got all the goodies inside it and goes pretty well.
What are some of the things you've had done for the engine in this?
Well, I've got them to build it, but basically it's got their own heads on it, so they're all canted valves. So from drag racing experience, with the heads they breathe better. So it's carburetted, but in the original cars when they came out, they had an 8-stack system in them.
Okay.
So they had 4 Webers or running through there, so quite different. But then they did have this, so this has got a quick fuel on it. So
How much? Like, what's your gas per mileage? Do you have any idea of that?
sometimes it's the other way
Is
around.
that right? How many miles per gas?
So at the moment, I did a trip down to Whangamata and it was 6 litres.
Okay.
To the 6 kilometres to the litre.
6 kilometres to the litre.
Yeah.
That's all right, isn't it? Now here we are with Online Logistics, and we're seeing exactly what they do for you. Here's a few cars coming out of the containers. Here we have this beautiful Chevy Impala. Look at this beautiful colour. Lowrider, beautiful interior. Man, this thing is just a honey. And as you see this red Corvette coming out of the container, this actually belonged to Vic Edelbrook Jr. over in the States. His daughter used to drive it. She actually had a little accident and it's still got the ding in the front. And now, ladies and gentlemen, look at this beautiful old pickup coming out of the container. This Chevy pickup belongs to Ben. There he is, smile from ear to ear. This is the first time he's seen his pickup. He's been hunting for this since October last year, and he had a friend up in LA go and source it for him and buy it. That's just fantastic. This guy, he just couldn't be happier. I guess it's just like being a brand new daddy all over again.
If you've got a vintage or a classic that needs insuring, ring Protector Insurance.
Well, now let's start to talk about the things that differentiate one Cobra from another. You mentioned you have a hard top for this.
Yeah, fabric top that goes over there, and it's got windows that
got
drop
yeah.
in. So
That's what these holes here for, the windows, what they slot into there?
they slot in. They've got sliders in them.
Yeah, like an airplane sort of a window, or an early mini miner.
Close.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, so no, it's quite good. So it's a bit more usable in the winter time, and just about every time you go out in them, they rain as well.
What speed have you noticed you can drive? If you get in light rain, that you can drive and the rain doesn't come in when you're driving.
Anything above 80 k's, it's
80
quite good.
k's, really?
Yeah.
Because that's good, because I had a convertible once, and anything over like 45 k's, it used to stop coming in. It was really good. Like my wife would complain, but I made her walk, because roofs are only for snow, and big snow at that. Yeah.
Well, we'll put the bonnet down and we'll go over and we'll have a yarn to Phil about the differences between the other ones to yours, Graham.
Yeah.
And Doug.
Careful, Braden.
I'm trying to be careful.
Here's Phil.
G'day, how you doing?
How you doing?
Good,
Come on down, you're the next contestant on the Hot Rod Show.
G'day, guys. Yeah, differences between the Cobras. As you can see, they are all so different. I would have loved to say I built mine, but I didn't. I bought it, instant gratification.
It's okay.
What drew me to mine, I guess in particular, the differences of it is the colour and the styling, the 15-inch wire wheels.
Right.
It's the Jag, all the Jag independent rear end and everything in it, but the styling of the 60s of what the AC Ace used to be and became the Cobra.
Okay.
And yeah, the originality of it is, that's what I like about mine.
Yeah. And like, have you been around the track? Have you been on a roundy round track in this, or just from
just the roundy roundabouts?
Just the roundy roundabouts.
I haven't done Pookie or Hampton yet.
Did you like doing donuts in it? You can say it because
you gotta love doing it.
You gotta love doing donuts in it. Yeah, why wouldn't you?
But yeah, it's great. It's great. They're neat cars, and sitting so close to the back wheel.
Yeah.
Getting a little bit of sideways, you really go sideways.
Yeah, like you really notice it when you're sitting very close to the rear axle, don't you?
You're almost sitting over it.
Yeah.
So Phil, with the badges, I've noticed that on Graham's one he had 427 and yours is a 302. Can you tell us a bit of what the badges actually mean?
Generally cubic inches. Graham's is a 427 cubic inch, whereas I've got the 302.
Oh, okay.
So mine's a 5 litre V8.
Yep.
Similarities, we're both carburetted, quite similar.
Yep.
But bigger engine, more power, more fun.
And the yellow one here, it's 427, so
it's
427
same
cubic
engine
inch.
again, that's right, yes.
Oh, wow.
So,
and what I've noticed about them is what are these for? What's the point behind it?
No roof roll bar. If you happen to end up upside down, the road's going to be there. So it's over the top of your head.
Oh, okay. So when we get to Bill's one, he obviously doesn't like his passengers.
So you guys with your short haircuts, you'll be right.
Yeah. So because they're a kit car now, the fiberglass body, the difference is you can put a single roll bar on, you can put a double roll bar like Graham has, or single wide roll bar like I've done on mine.
Oh, okay. So can you switch and swap or?
They're mounted to the chassis, so obviously they go right down. So they are actually a proper roll bar.
Oh wow!
Not just a couple of bolts underneath the fiberglass to make them look nice.
Look cool. Yeah. Oh wow.
What's under the bonnet usually differentiates a lot from these things, and over there is a supercharged one.
Yeah. We'll jump over and get Bill up and talk about his car, which he handmade.
Thank you very much. Yeah, good, mate. Good.
So tell us a little bit about yours.
Well, pretty much like with Cobras, there's a little bit of a saying in the club, and that is that every car is exactly the same, but everyone's completely different.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a bit of...
Makes no sense.
Yeah, it makes no sense because, I mean, on the surface they are the same, but every car is individual to the owner.
Yeah.
And I built this one in 2007. And I sort of wanted to put a little bit of the English heritage into it, so I treated it some British racing green, but I gave it a bit of timber work inside just to sort of try.
Can we get the camera in and have a look at the
interior?
Carry
that through. That's a bit of bare walnut is traditional for the English cars, and then on the other side of the coin, the American heritage is under the bonnet.
Oh, under the bonnet.
Just the motor and the body.
Just before we jump under and have a look under the bonnet, what does it say on your scoop?
Oh, it's made a little bit of a reference about I like being blown.
Oh, wow. What's the reference mean?
Is that supercharged?
We won't go there.
No, it's probably not. It's purely rumour from what I can understand. But these cars, like I think most of us, they're work in progress. People say, is your car finished? And this one has never been finished. Simply because I started off with a pretty stock standard 302 in it. A few more horsepower, so it was heads and cam and bits and pieces, and then we wanted a few more horsepower, so it was a supercharger. Then with the extra power, the manual 5-speed box I had kept breaking. So then I got Ian Hunter from one of your previous shows there, from Casper's.
Oh yeah.
He built me up an AODE, which is an electronic 4-speed box with overdrive.
Yeah.
And he built that box specifically for this engine and this car, so they are actually a matched.
Ian loves Ford transmissions, eh?
Oh, mate, he's the man.
Casper transmissions, they're pretty good.
Oh, they are awesome. Yeah. And these are electronic and they're pre-programmable too.
Okay.
So
oh, wow.
there's a couple of switches on the side there, and one switch alters the shift speed and how it shifts, and the other one locks out fourth gear and overdrive, so it just gives you a 3-speed box. And you've also got the Tiptronic, so you can play around with it as well. So after all that, we got all that sorted out, but then I started breaking back in. So it's a case.
And so what have you got in the back there now?
It started off as Toyota, and it is still Toyota.
Really?
Yep. But I've gone to a different casing. It's off a Lucinda, which is a people mover. It's a bit of a heavy casting, what have you. So
That's interesting.
So touch wood. It's it's all holding together.
Yeah.
Hey, we've got to have a look under the bonnet of this thing, eh?
Sure. Yep, not a problem.
All the way around. Oh, look at that, eh? Wow. Wow, I like the horns.
Yeah.
You don't see many cars with horns like that on them nowadays, do you?
You do not. They're twin overhead horns.
And so that's like, what is that, about a size supercharger? It's a 471?
Yeah, it's terrible. I don't know the exact capacity of it, but at the moment, that little unit there and that motor's turning out just on 400 horsepower.
Wow.
So, but it's a very revvy motor, and it's got a lot of low down torque.
That'd be hard to say when you had a couple of drinks. Very revvy.
I have difficulty when I'm sober.
Yeah. I have difficulty pronouncing CRC product names when I'm sober.
But it's a fun car. I built it for fun. It's
And the gauge there?
oh, that's just fuel pressure.
Okay.
I've got a little cooler on the front there where the fuel runs through. It cools because it's the cooler the fuel, the cooler the air, the bigger the bang. So,
Bit more horsepower.
A bit more horsepower. That
Wow.
endeavour for more horsepower.
So that doesn't have that, like that very traditional supercharged whine.
Oh, it's got a real whine.
Yeah,
to it.
isn't that beautiful?
It is awesome.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It makes people.
It
turn
does,
around.
They pull up the lights and you give it a rev and you hear a whine and people look around and there's no cheese.
I quite often just sit in the garage and just give it a little
Yeah.
kick, you know.
Could we actually start it up? Bill?
We can do that. Yep.
Let our viewers know what we're talking about.
Yep.
You see, you got a battery
Seats
charging pack behind the seat there. Like, you have a bit of battery trouble
Oh, I have had
from
it 'cause
time to time.
It hasn't been started for a wee while,
Yeah.
so it's a matter of precaution, really.
Thanks, Bill.
Wow, how about that? Well, thank you, Bill. Thanks for coming along. We just want to
Thank you.
We just want to thank the Cobra Club of New Zealand for coming out to the show today and bringing these beautiful cars on here. I mean, it's spectacular, isn't it? Join the club, ladies and gentlemen, and get involved in cars. There you go, another edition of the Hot Rod Show. There you go, ladies and gentlemen, another episode of the Hot Rod Show coming to an end. But oh, hasn't this been beautiful? All these snakes around us. Oh man, Cobras. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to give out bottles of Mother's Polish to them all as we usually do, Canuba wax. And well, it brings to a wrap Series 1, and now we're going to go on to Series 2, so we'll be back very soon. So, ladies and gentlemen, one thing we always like to do on the Hot Rod Show, start your engines! Woohoo! As this is our last episode of Series 1, please keep going to our website every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. to see more hot rods, sheds and events, because we're still going to be filming them and we're still going to be bringing them to you.